and welcome to my channel. My name is ChandraMarie, and today we are going to be looking at 10 mods for realistic gameplay. These are my favorite mods that I use in my game, and some of them are old, some of them are newer. A lot of the older ones have been updated. I figured we'd just run through them. And that way you guys can see what all I use and maybe add something new for your game. So this is the Akita family. I made them forever ago. I absolutely love them. And I figured we'd use them today because they're family, they've got a lot going on. Probably the best way to showcase some of these mods. So my favorite mod, my number one mod, and if you are not playing with this mod already, you need to be. The only excuse is that you're on console or your computer can't handle it. Those are the excuses, otherwise why aren't you using this mod? And that is the Relationship and Pregnancy Overhaul mod, previously known as Woohoo Wellness. I'm sure you've all heard of it, but just in case, I figured I'd add it to the list. This is Saya. She's going to go, she thinks she might be pregnant, so she's going to go take a pregnancy test. She really wants to have a baby. What I love about the Relationship and Pregnancy Overhaul mod is how many different things you can do with it. I've already checked, I know she's pregnant. Oh, and look how excited she is. Oh, and of course, not feeling too great. So she was happy from trying for a baby, and now, she's eating for two. She's all excited about that. This is what everybody who's seen the mod, when it first came out is used to, just the pregnancy part. But the relationship part has been updated so much as well. Let's share the big news. I absolutely love what all you can do with this mod. So with this mod, there's two different little things you can go to on the little wheel. Pregnancy and family. And here, now that they're pregnant, you can go and organize for the baby, go to early parenthood classes. If they were having issues having a child, she could carry a baby for another, have a baby through a surrogate. They can do IVF, which is absolutely awesome. I did that actually recently in another video. I like how you can put up a child for adoption if you just don't like them. And just all of these different things, tell him that he fathered the child. That's the truth. But what I love is that, if you have a more risque storyline and the baby was actually somebody else's, she could still lie to him and convince him that it's his child, depending on if they'd woohooed recently. What I also love in the relationship wellness, this is what's been added more recently, how much they've done for divorce. You know what? I know that they're excited that they're pregnant, but this isn't a household that I'm currently playing with, so I can do whatever I want. Separate permanently. So you can have all of these different reasons to break up or get a divorce with somebody. And I absolutely love it, if they're a cheater, if they're not around, if you're having a life crisis, there's so many different reasons. And they'll have an idea. We'll just do Love is Dead for this one, even though they're both really excited that she's pregnant. And she says she's putting an end to her romantic relationship with Gunnar. And obviously I can't go super into depth into each of those mods, but just a little overview. So the reason that I did this is because, they can be resentful about the divorce and saddened about this. They're still married, but they're in the process of getting divorced. And I love that it makes divorce a process instead of just, we press a button, we're done, and that's it. And so now you can ask him to move out. You can go to court over the custody after they move out. You can settle the estate and decides who gets what money. And then you can finally finalize the divorce. It makes it a longer process. It's so much more realistic, so much more storytelling that you can do. And I absolutely love it. If you haven't started playing with the Relationship and Pregnancy Overhaul mod by Lumpino, you absolutely need to. If you play any gameplay whatsoever, I just strongly recommend it. And they're constantly updating the mod too. So they're adding to it, and there's so many different features. So check it out if you haven't already. The next mod that I'm going to talk about is First Impressions. Also by Lumpino. I'm basically just going not in order of my favorite mods, but in order of who they're by, because there's a lot of the same creators in here. So the First Impressions mod, you've probably already seen, but I'm gonna have to, point out anyway. I love the sentiments, but they just don't do enough in the game. And I think we're gonna take Maya here and go to the park. So let's see, we also brought Saya along, even though she's sad about, that her love is dead and that they're not amicably splitting up, but she's very happy that she's pregnant, whether or not they're getting a divorce. So let's come over and just say hi to somebody new. Let's do a funny introduction. And as you can see, she immediately gets a sentiment, and she thinks that Kayla is weird. And Kayla thinks that she's funny because she had a funny introduction. And I absolutely love this because, sometimes it's based off of this, funny. where it's how you introduce yourself, but sometimes it's just, their traits just don't mesh. And it's adds so much more if you're not exactly sure where you want the story to go, or, your sim is meeting a whole bunch of people, you don't know who you want to be friends with or not. It really just tells you how they mesh in the first place. So I greatly, greatly recommend it. Now, if you have these mods, and actually a few of the other mods, you're going to need the Mood Pack mod by Lumpino. You don't have to have it, but I greatly encourage it. So, something that you might not know about Macy, which goes with the next Lumpino mod, is that Macy is actually trans. If you go here, I have the LGBTQIA plus mod. I absolutely love this one because it just adds a lot of personality and just like more depth into each of the characters. Like if you play with like gay or like bisexual, pansexual, transgender characters, it adds so much to it. You can see here that Macy is transgender. She is, she's female, she's out, she's allosexual, so she's open to sexuality and has had top surgery, which you can tell if you look over here, and is panromantic and also alloromantic, so open to romantic relationships. I really love all of this. So you can ask, like, darling, why are you calling me? You're standing right here. No, we're not doing that. So, you can talk to darling and say, orientation and identity, ask your opinion. Got no problem with it, but won't go to a parade either. There you go. Totally fine with it. So, if you want to have everybody be open to, like trans and like homosexual relationships and everything, you can, or you can even have like transphobia or homophobia part of your game if that's part of the story that you want to tell. It's really up to you. I love all of the settings in it. It really just adds a lot more depth into these storylines. So if you're using Lumpino's mods, you're also going to want their Mood Pack mod. And I don't have an example really to show you unless it just automatically comes up. I don't think nobody has one of the moodlets, but it adds more moods. And this is one that doesn't seem important, but once you actually get it, you have things like guilty, satisfied instead of just feeling fine. It's just little things that just adds more personality, even though it's really just here and it's just like clarifying exactly why they feel a certain way. I absolutely love it. So the next mod that I'm going to talk about is Talents and Weaknesses. It's also by Lumpino. That one, I think we can see it here. So Macy, it automatically gives them, and you can change it yourself too, but it automatically gives them talents and weaknesses. So Macy is a potential super parent. They're going to struggle to develop their athletic skills. One thing I really like about this is I can have a sim that loves like fitness, but is a struggling athlete. So for example, me, I am not athletic whatsoever. Does not matter how much I want to be. It just does not work for me. So, I like working out and stuff, but I can't do a pull-up to save my life. Doesn't matter how many times I have trained in order to do so. I really like this. I think it just adds a little bit more personality and it helps differentiate the different sims from each other, and I really enjoy that. The next one that I'm going to talk about is not by Lumpino. It's actually by Helene. And it's the Preferences Plus. So nobody currently has this one, so we're not seeing it here. But it would normally be in likes and dislikes. So Preferences Plus adds a whole bunch more to what you can like and dislike. We're going to enter create a sim so you can see it. I liked the likes and dislikes that came with the game, but look at this. There's so much more here. Some of these are from Wonderful Whims, but we have drinks. So what drinks do they like to drink? What are they more likely to pick up? What are they more likely to, avoid? And we have personal, which is just, are they a gossip? Do they like hugging people? Are they a morning or a night person? Maybe they don't like to brush their teeth. Or activities. There are so many more activities that you can choose from, and I really like that. All of these should be already in the game with likes and dislikes, and it's kind of a shame that they're not. So this really picks up a lot of them. You can be specific with boxing, bubble blowing, canning, just different things like that. I really love it. If you have this mod, you don't have to have it, but I highly recommend you also get Zerbu's unlimited likes and dislikes. As you can see, it's not technically unlimited, but there aren't this many. But if this seems overwhelming and you don't want to have to go and pick every single thing for people, then you can also choose an archetype, which I do this a lot with like their friends and stuff, because that way I don't have to pick every Sim's likes and dislikes. But if you pick an archetype, it gives you something to talk about. If you aren't familiar with this mod, you might be thinking that it's just like in the game, the likes and dislikes. But let's go to Macy. And so you just go to Actions and Preferences Plus. Add an archetype, so you can add random, you can remove all, you can unlock preferred recipes. This actually works with a lot of like Ice Mun Mun's food and stuff. But the archetypes are really nice. You can do artist, culture, daydreamer. I mean, there's so many different ones, and it'll add a whole bunch for you. So let's see. Cat lover, loves the outdoors. She's kind of like my little gardener. Let's make her healthy. Yeah, let's make her healthy. So now that I've done that, all of these likes and dislikes have popped up. So they like nature. That is correct. It gives them hobbies and skills that they like and things that they don't like, drinks that they like, music that they like. I mean, it really gives them all of this stuff. So when you come here, and now I can coach on running form, it adds all of these new interactions that you can do. And yeah, they're just different things you can say. It's the same animations. Because she likes nature with this, I can enthuse about climbing trees, finding creepy crawlies, sharing camping trips. It adds so much more personality to them. I absolutely love it. So the next mod we're going to talk about is also by Helene, and it's Fear Factory. You might have noticed this one. And it's small. It just cracks me up more than anything. Macy is afraid of clowns, which has not popped up. I have not had a clown around. I gave this to her randomly, but if we go back to Actions, Fear Factory, you can add a random fear, or you can select fear. You can be afraid of bees, afraid of being touched. I mean, like afraid of cats. That would not work for her. She likes cats. Afraid of spiders. The afraid of spiders, actually, I'll see if I give that to Saya and if that does anything for her. Because the moods that you can get are pretty funny with this one. I doubt anything's going to pop up now that I've made her afraid of spiders. But you can get little moodlets just being like, ah, was that a spider? Like, it's just funny, and it adds more personality to them, and I absolutely love it. And especially like if you're afraid of dogs or afraid of cats or something like that, those ones you're going to see more often. The next thing I'm going to talk about is healthcare Redux. So I've seen people talk about private practice more, but I prefer healthcare Redux. This adds a lot of gameplay, especially if, here, you're pregnant, so let's do that. It's by a Deep Indigo, and I like, you can go to the doctor, depending on your mood, go to the therapist, go to the acupuncturist if you're tense, go to the hospital if there's ever like a need, you can get vaccinated. I like that there are diseases that can kill you with this mod. I actually had a sim who had a pregnancy complication and would have died, but she was already pregnant again. You can donate blood, there's health insurance, there's medication that you have to take. I absolutely love it. Now she's pregnant, so she can go to the OBGYN, and nobody has a job, so she has to pay $200. If you watch my Crybaby Whims, Emma was going to the OBGYN, and because she has health insurance through her husband, it was only $80. Simoleons, not dollars. So you can go and, see, here we go. What was that? From Fear Spiders. So I absolutely love just all the different things you can do with that. Another just honorable mention is there's 3 different reduxes that a Deep Indigo has done: the healthcare, the eye care, and the dental. I have all 3. I recommend them, not if you're playing on short lifespan. I think it would be absolutely insane. If you're playing on long lifespan, I really recommend them. It can get a little much when you're playing on like normal, because they constantly, let's schedule a routine eye exam. They're not constantly sick, but especially like if you're pregnant or you have like dental exams and stuff like that, it can get a lot if you're playing on normal. I love that there's like the chance that they could get sick and die. I just like the realism with the whole mod. So if you're looking for some sort of, more realistic healthcare mod, Healthcare Redux by a Deep Indigo is really, really good. One of the new mods that everyone is currently talking about is Dynamic Teen Life by Deep Indigo. I do really like this one, and I have been using it. So Aaron is not popular or unpopular, and is a floater. And these are automatically assigned when you load into the game, and I really like that. I really like that they can have different cliques. It's something that I really wish we would have gotten in high school years, that there's actually like a popularity system. Because Macy's not here, we don't really have a lot of things that I can ask. But let's go talk to his dad. Ask for permission to date. I really like that that's part of this mod. I know I wasn't allowed to date when I was in high school. I did anyway, and then I got into trouble for it. But, you know, I like that, you know, you can get permission to do things, and I feel like it makes a better dynamic for the family between like the parents and the teenagers. Oh, too little, too young to go. We can go with a chaperone or in a group. You know, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the dynamic teen life mod. I think that it pairs so well with high school years. Like, it brings basically everything that you wanted in high school years. So one thing I didn't mention with the optometrist is that it actually can make a difference. Your Sims can need glasses, and it will actually have them, you can choose to have contacts or glasses, and things can stress their eyes. I really enjoy that. And I think that that's really fun when you're playing like in a legacy or a family, and you know, you have children and like your children need to have glasses, and I really enjoy that. The next thing that we're going to talk about is the Sim National Bank SNB Bills. And this is one that I really enjoy and I use all the time. I didn't really see the point when I first heard about it, and then I realized that, especially if you have teenagers, I've opened it up and you can have your own account. You can do like career direct deposit, and you can pay, you know, you can have all of the money from their career go into the main account. I really like this with teenagers because you can have them have like their job, or you can send them money, and then when they move out they have their own money, and I really like that. It also helps when you have, you know, like maybe you have a brother and sister living together and you don't want them to split all the money. I really enjoy this. It's like, it's simple, but it's really helpful. It also, here is the SNB Bills app. So when you load into a lot, you can choose what you want to pay for. So we can do customize. Currently they have the nicest of everything. Maybe you only want to pay for power, water, and that's it. Well, then their cell phone's not going to work. They're not going to have any internet. The TV, even if you own one, it's not going to work. And then the garbage won't get picked up. I really like this. It makes it so much more believable. It's nice when you're living in like, you know, a crappier place, and you know, maybe you have cable but you don't have premium cable, so you can't watch the series premiere, you know, or maybe you can't stream on, you know, you can't live stream because you don't have premium internet. And then here, you know, government benefits, you can do child support, alimony, well fund. There's so much you can do with these apps or with these mods. They're so much more fun. I highly recommend them. The last one that I'm going to talk about is the real estate mod. This one has been updated recently. So the real estate mod is by SimRealist, and Sim National Bank SMB is also by SimRealist, and they go really well together. They are made to go together. Gunner's getting a divorce, and he's decided he's not going to live here anymore. And so what I want to do is go to real estate and let's hire a realtor. And so all these realtors that come up, unfortunately, they're all randomly generated, but I can live with that. All right, my realtor's arrived. So we can come over here. Let's set house wish list. So when you set a house wish list, you can choose how much it's going to cost. Let's say $30K to $120K. And you can choose what world it is in. One thing I really love about this is it actually, like, you know, Willow Creek right now, and it changes week to week. So right now, Willow Creek, you don't get charged more for moving there, but if you move to Granite Falls, which you can do with this app, or with this mod, or Windenburg, it's 5% more expensive than what it would be just to move normally, to move to Windenburg. But if you want to go to Newcrest, it's not any more expensive. Forgotten Hollow, kind of a weird neighborhood, so it's -2, so it's actually cheaper to move there. Strangerville, also weird, so less. A lot of them are, like, Tartosa's really nice, Moonwood Will. Let's go, I don't really care where you move. Just click on a whole bunch. And lot traits, you could pick specific lot traits that you want, you know, it to have. There's none that I really care about, so let's just submit. And then there's nothing really else I want to do here, so I'm just gonna end the appointment. I'll pick back up with you guys. It's gonna take a day before we can actually move anywhere. Greetings, Miss Akita. I'm happy to announce that I found some great quality houses that fit your profile. So this does not really work if you want to move right that second. But I really like this because, let's see, we can check house listings. And now there's all of these different houses. You can see what the surcharge of them are. Some of them you can't see how much they are, some you can. What's nice is it'll tell you like how many bedrooms and bathrooms are in them. or like this one, or what their lot traits are. And the lot traits can actually like make them cost more, make them cost less. I don't know. I really enjoy this one. I think, there's housing negotiations, and what they've recently added is you can actually own multiple properties and like live at multiple properties, and you can also rent out properties and make money from that, which is really fun and really cool. So after you like pick which houses you want, you go on home tours. There's the negotiation battle, which as long as you have a high starred realtor, they go pretty well. And then the closing process, where you gotta pay all the closing costs and pay your realtor. It's sounds like a lot, but it's a lot of fun, like especially the first couple times you do it. And you don't have to, like, even if you have the mod, you can still move them like normal. But this is nice if you want to own multiple properties, or if you want to have a more realistic, they're finally moving into that bigger house and this is a big deal for them, or they're moving from an apartment to their first house and it's a big deal. It adds a lot of realism to the game, and I really, really enjoy that. So those are my favorite 10 mods for more realistic family gameplay. I think that if you like to play legacies, if you like to play with families, if you like to get into the nitty-gritty of things, wow, I have not been paying attention to their needs at all, then these mods are definitely for you. See, now he has an achy mouthful, so he needs to go to the dentist. It really helps if you like that struggle and you are like, I have way too much money, then this really helps with like the realism of you have other things to pay for, you have more bills to pay for, or you have, it actually can be cheaper to pay with SNB Bills, but you have like the dentist and the doctor to pay for, or, maybe the kids need braces. It just makes the game feel more realistic. Their relationships feel more realistic, interactions feel more realistic. So if you watch any of my videos and you're like, what mods do you use? These are my favorite ones, and I highly recommend all of them. Let me know what you think. Do you use any of these mods? Are any of these your favorites? Have you not heard of any of these? Let me know. Don't forget to like the video. I would really, really appreciate that. I'm still very new at this. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more videos. I have a lot more mods that I use. These were just the big ones that I figured I would let everybody know about. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.